Look, it's an absolute pleasure to have Yuvel Rotem here today, and I'm so pleased he's come to address us all the way from Canberra. And as I said, it's a mark, I think, of the respect that he shows for Australia, the respect he shows for Western Australia. Please welcome, would you, His Excellency Yuvel Rotem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, shalom. May I thank all those who are here this afternoon for being friends of the State of Israel. I recognize your commitment to the well-being of the people of Israel, and I acknowledge your affinity to the Jewish people. I'm honored to be part of this event, and I wish to thank all the individuals that put so much energy and time into forming this organization and facilitate this event. Firstly, I would like to express my utmost gratitude to the Honorable Bob Kuchera, former Western Australian Minister, for accepting the position of inaugural chairperson of the Friends of Israel in West Australia. Bob, you have a long proven record of standing with Israel throughout your political career and beyond. You are a messenger of leadership for the Friends of Israel, and you are a promise of hope for the people of Israel. And I therefore salute you on behalf of my country for speaking your mind and standing by Israel in this trying time. Thank you. Second, I want to welcome Mr. Stephen Smith, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Mr. Minister, I want to appreciate your long recognition of the strong and fundamental bond between our two countries, and to acknowledge your friendship of many years to the Jewish people in Perth. Your presence here tonight speaks volume about your commitment to the well-being of my State of Israel. Thank you. I also want to thank Senator Glenn Stirl, Senator from Western Australia, for his outstanding leadership in federal parliament as the chairman of the Australian-Israeli Parliamentary Friendship Group. Glenn, in the last few months, there have been many ups and few downs in our bilateral relationship. However, with your passion and love, you have always been out there for me and for the embassy and for the people of Israel for advice and guidance and friendship. In our many hours together, you share with me your amazing and inspiring story. You told me that true friendship is forged in moments of difficulty. You were right. You are a real friend. What you say here, you are a real mate. So I wish to acknowledge and recognize this in front of all of these people here today. Thank you. And I also would like to welcome Federal Member of the Parliament, Michael Keenan, and to thank him and his party for the long-standing and ongoing support for Israel. Thank you. Finally, I wish to acknowledge many other federal and state elected officials and all of you who have come out today to celebrate the launch of this promising organization. I cannot overstate the importance of your support, especially in this moment of difficulty for Israel. Today, we gather to pay tribute to a nation which, after 2 millennia in exile, was able to return to its country, to restore sovereignty, to recultivate the land, to revive the language, and to emerge of the ashes of the Holocaust as the outstanding realization of the modern spirit of our ancient nation. Israel today is a significant player in the global arena, with a strong economy and vibrant social fabric. We are a people whose outstanding achievements in the medical field, in high-tech breakthroughs, in scientific discoveries, and exciting corporate venture provide solution and remedy for all humanity and generate pride for the nation of Israel. However, for all our achievements, for all our success, there are those who will belittle our progress and undermine our sovereignty. For years, our legitimacy in the eyes of the world has been constantly questioned, challenged, and even sometimes denied. The assault on the legitimacy of Israel as a nation-state of the Jewish people is well planned and coordinated. The goal of this campaign is to demonize and to legitimize Israel. This assault is being waged by a variety of networks, including Arabs and Muslim states and organizations, as well as certain elements within the Western elites, non-government organizations, union, mainstream media, universities, cultural institutions, and religious groups. The events surrounding the Turkish flotilla in late May were the most recent example of the challenge we face. It's one thing to confront our security needs on a daily basis. It's another thing entirely to face a challenge to our legitimacy as a political entity. Beyond the security threats, this is the new menace which is emerging. This coalition of forces pursue their agenda by preventing Israelis from speaking at universities, by interrupting Israeli performers during concerts, by negating Israeli companies and products, and by boycotting relationship with Israel in all aspects. They are spreading lies, misinformation, and false reports. This coalition of forces pursue their agenda by arguing that Israel practices apartheid, and by campaigning against the historical truth of the Holocaust, and by claiming that the very re-establishment of Israel is, in a word, illegal. This coalition of forces use others established commissions and produce reports that accuse Israel of war crimes. They hijack United Nations institutions like the Human Rights Council by placing the A-team of notorious human rights abusers at the top. Countries like Libya, Iran, Cuba, and Sudan are presented as the voice for human rights across the world, guided exclusively by politics and not by a moral concern. So when we talk about this Human Rights Council and their degree of objectivity and integrity, our approach turn to the Cold War era. Then, in any sporting contest, East German judges and their ruling were so transparent in their bias, it could almost have passed without being noticed. This is a double standard that we see in action all over the world today. This campaign of demonization, dehumanization, and legitimation of Israel and her people has raged over Europe and the United States and now has blown as far as Australia. This campaign has resulted in creation of the boycott, divestment, and sanction movements. They do not seek to create understanding between people or support negotiations or further the peace process. They do not wish to validate values, people, or issues. They are engaged only in negating the survival and legitimacy and the existence of Israel. With the support of some Arabs and Muslim countries, they deny our past by claiming that there was no Holocaust. They deny our present by dehumanizing Israelis as individuals. And they want to deny our future with ambitions to acquire nuclear capabilities and by declaring openly and explicitly their desire to see a world with no Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, a denial of our history has a dire modern-day consequences. With this rejection of our past comes an opportunity to refuse us a future. Make no mistake, this attack is not just confined to Israel. It extends to the legitimacy of Zionism and the history of the Jewish people. Therefore, it is up to the people like you in Western Australia, with faith and belief, to speak your mind and make your voice heard in the face of this very determined campaign of misinformation and falsehood. So I thank you again for taking time out of your weekend to help us to celebrate a moment of promise for Israel. We celebrate our existence. We celebrate a homeland reborn for a people too long oppressed. We celebrate democracy that has had to defend itself in every turn. We celebrate a dream nurtured by generations, by men and women who refused to bow under the toughest odds. We celebrate the spirit of a people who have one more goal to accomplish: to live in peace with his neighbors. So, friends of Israel in Western Australia, we need to know that if Israel is again asked to take further risk for peace, that people and the nation of the world will stand with us tomorrow. We can take the risk for peace today only if we have the confidence to protect ourselves and the ability to exercise our right for self-defense tomorrow. Thanks to friends like Bob Kuchera and Stephen Smith and Glenn Stirrell, Michael Keenan, and people like you all, Israel will be able to make the future risk for peace. To live in peace with our neighbors means that we can fulfill our dreams of thousands of years to be a free people in the land of Israel, in the land of Zion, and of Jerusalem. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And Yuval, once again, thank you. You are amongst friends, believe you me. And I was just musing as I walked in today, and I got here a little earlier, and I spoke to a couple of people I know quite well outside with placards. And but no, I know them on a personal basis. But what a great nation we live in that they can stand out there and do that. And that's what this is about. That's really what this is about. We all can express our views, no matter what it is. And that was the one thing that struck me when I was in Israel, that everybody can express their view, no matter what. I was amazed to find that a nation of Arabs, the Bedouins, no longer have a right to life because the Arab countries have closed the borders. And a nomadic peoples, people very similar in the way they live to our Aboriginal communities, who believed in freedom and ranging wide need, can no longer do that. And underneath all of this that goes on in Israel, you have all of the problems and the issues that every other country like us have. You have crime, you have all the other things that go on, you have domestic violence, you have all those things that happen. And yet you have such great joy there in a country that really lives for today, and it's amazing. And Yuval, thank you so much for being with us today and for joining us as a friend.